Algebra 2, we are in lesson 7. We're going to go over two things today. We're going to go over equations that deal with percent, and also we're going to go over equations from geometry. And so we're going to start with 7a, and 7a deals with some percentages. How can we do this? You're going to see these in forms of word problems, but a couple of equations that you need to know, okay, to start off with. We're going to say what fraction times of is. This what fraction and of and is are all components of a word problem that we will see here later on. The other way to write this, okay, another way to look at this would be percent over 100 times of equals is. A third equation would be kind of a ratio of the two forms, so we can combine those two forms. So percent over 100 equals is over of. And we can do that because if we divide out this of with this is, we can get them on two different sides. So we can cross multiply essentially. And then a fourth equation deals with rate, okay, of times of equals is. And we'll see all four of these in our lessons to come. So memorizing these equations is kind of an important thing. So let's start with 7.1. And we have a word problem that says 18% is, or 18, excuse me, 18 is 20% of what number? And I'm just going to abbreviate with the what number here. So what are we going to use? Well, it asks us for percent, okay? So we can use the percent over 100 times of equals is. All right, what did the problem say about is? Well, it said 18 is, so we know that 18, okay, would be this is. So let's just kind of jot that down underneath it. Percent. What percent were we given? Well, 20%. So we're going to say 20 over 100 times of. Well, what is the of? We don't know. We don't know what that number is. So if we have 20 over 100, meaning our percentage, times what number equals 18, can we solve for this? Yes. Well, 20 over 100 Wn equals 18. How do we get Wn by itself? We do the opposite. So we're going to multiply by 100 over 20 on both sides so that we can cross these out. We're left with what number equals. All right, now we can, it's 18 over 1 essentially, okay? So 180 over 20, and we can come out with our number being 90. All right, so if we have 20% of what number is 90, so you'll see two bubbles. Okay, you're going to see a bubble where it says of 90. Okay, and that's the 100%. That's what we just found out, 20% of 100. Okay, or we can do this. We can represent it like this. We can say that 18% equals 20. We know that because of this equation right here, which leaves us with 72%, because 72 and 18 equal 100, right? But 72% is going to equal, or excuse me, 72, not percent. Percent is over here, 20%. That means 80 80% over here. So 72 is going to equal 80%. So we're going to show those off in kind of a drawing like this. And if they say diagram the answer, this is what you're going to do. All right. Let's look at 7b. We have kind of another lesson in geometry, and we're going to look at a couple of things that maybe will take us back to a few geometry concepts that you probably already know, but let's do this. Okay, so this is 2x plus 2 degrees. Okay, B is 7x plus 18 degrees. What's that? And C is 6x plus 10 degrees. And basically, we're going to solve for each of these. We want to know what A is, B is, and C is in the actual degree. Okay? What do you know about the inside of a triangle? What does it equal? 180 degrees. So, here's our equation. We're going to start with A. We're going to say 2x plus 2 degrees plus, should be a plus sign, sorry. Let's go to B, 7x plus 18 degrees. And then let's put in C, 6x plus 10 degrees equals 180 degrees. In other words, all three of these angles together equal 180. All right, now we have to just add our x's together and add our degrees together, and we can figure out what x is equal to. We're trying to find x, and then once we find x, we can put x back into each one of these equations, and we can find it for that specific angle. All right, so there's a 2x here, 7x here, and 6x. Well, how many is that? By my count, it's 15x. We have 2 degrees, we have 18 degrees, that's 20, and we have 30 degrees. So plus 30 degrees equals 180 degrees. Subtract 30, subtract 30, so 15x equals 150 degrees. Divide by 15, divide by 15. X then is going to equal 10 degrees. Okay. So, if this is 10 degrees, let's go to A. So, if we put 2 times 10 plus 2 degrees, 2 times 10 is 20, plus 2 is 22 degrees. So A is 22 degrees. Let's put B in. 7 times 10 is 70, plus 18. We have 88 degrees. C, we put 10 in here, 60 plus 10 is 70, 70 degrees. So we have figured out every single one of these angles by using just a simple geometry theorem. Okay, so that is example 7.3. We found what x is equal to in all cases in A, B, and C. All right, let's jump down to 7.4. 7.4 gives us a transversal, 4 lines, and it gives us similar look. So we have 4x plus 33 degrees, and then we have just 3x down here, degrees. We want to find out what x is. Remember, this is a straight line, okay? And because we have a degree on this side and a degree on this side, those two have to equal, again, 180 degrees because it's a straight line. So we can say that 4x plus 33 degrees plus 3x equals 180 degrees. All right, so let's add up the x's. We have 7x, we subtract 33, we subtract 33, and once we do that, we can solve for we can solve for our x. Okay, let's do this. So we have 1, and we have 4, and we have 7 divided by 7 divided by 7. So x is going to equal 21. Okay, and again, we're just using algebraic principles to solve our geometry problems. Okay. All right. Let's look at another example that they give us. 7.5. 7.5 has basically a bisected angle that looks something like this. We have D degrees, we have C degrees, we have B degrees, and we have A degrees. And the statement says the measures of angle A, B, C, and D are the ratio of 1, 2, 4, and 2. In other words, we're going to say, if we put in a problem where we can actually put a variable in, we're going to say x to 2x to 4x to 2x. Okay, so all of these together, again, equal 180 degrees. So we can say x plus 2x plus 4x plus 2x equals 180 degrees. Add up our x's. Well, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 4 is 8. And then we have plus 1 is 9x equals 180. We divide by 9. We divide by 9. X is going to equal 20. Okay? So if we have x is equaling 20, if 1x equals 20, that means D is 20 degrees. C, we said, was 2x, so 2 times 20, so that's going to be 40 degrees. B is 4x, so 4 times 20 is 80 degrees. And then A was 2x, and again, we go back down to 40 degrees. Right? So, pretty easy to find those geometric shapes and figures out. Again, not too difficult as far as this is concerned. So, hopefully, this is an easy lesson for you guys, and we'll see you later.